Thanks again for joining us for our Nevada Clean Car Standards virtual press conference. We're going to get started in a minute. Please know that we are now live streaming this event on the Moms Clean Air Force Facebook page. Thanks again. We're going to get started in a minute.
Great, thank you, Kevin. Good morning and welcome. My name is Yasmin Pelayas, and I am the Digital Media Manager and Communications Associate for the Nevada Conservation League. By now, you may have already seen or heard of the UN's Intergovernmental Panel and Climate Change Report. In this report, climate experts around the world found that the window to keep our planet from warming below 1.5 degrees Celsius is closing rapidly. However, we still have a chance, though slim, to change course and mitigate the worst impacts of climate change. It will require us to slash climate pollution in half by 2030, and our transportation sector will play a large role in helping us meet this goal. That's why we're here today to urge the Biden administration and the EPA to set the strongest standards possible for pollution from automobiles and light-duty trucks produced from 2027 through 2035. It will drive investments in clean cars and zero-pollution electric vehicles, spurring manufacturing and job growth while protecting public health. Nevada's transportation sector is the largest contributor of greenhouse gas pollution. And according to Nevada's statewide greenhouse gas pollution inventory, transportation will remain the top source of climate pollution for the state in the next decade, unless we act now. By making cars cleaner, we can dramatically cut pollution that is damaging the health of Nevadans, as well as addressing long-standing environmental injustice. So that's why today I'm proud to be joined by leaders who will share just how important this is for our communities. Now, I'd like to turn it over to the U.S. representative of Nevada's 4th Congressional District and chair of the Congressional Black Caucus, Steven Horsford.
Well, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Yasmin. I'm so pleased to join everyone today, and thank you to the Nevada press that are up and joining this call. We're here today to call on the Environmental Protection Agency and the Biden administration to set the strongest possible vehicle pollution standards for all automobiles and light-duty trucks produced from 2027 and beyond. Current standards run through 2026, so this action is needed now. We want these draft standards introduced by early April, as they will help reduce fossil fuel use and strengthen our energy and national security, while also saving consumers money at the pump. President Biden deserves credit for restoring Obama-Biden era clean car standards in December of 2021. These stronger standards require car manufacturers to reduce tailpipe emissions for automobiles and light trucks for model years 2023 and through 2026. President Biden also signed an executive order to get more electric vehicles on the road and to help address the climate crisis. The administration also recently proposed the Cleaner Trucks rules to curb diesel truck pollution and help restored the EPA waiver for California and other states to adopt light-duty vehicle pollution limits stronger than the federal government. We know vehicle pollution is driving dirty air days in our area. Clark, Carson City, and Washoe counties all receive F grades for ozone pollution. We also know that cleaner cars also hold promise for our economy. As of 2019, there were 33,788 Nevadans working in clean energy. We have an opportunity to further grow this critical sector with investment in well-paying jobs in clean energy and electric vehicles, including EV battery manufacturing. Nationwide, there are over 270,000 jobs associated with clean vehicle technologies, These technologies include more efficient transmission and turbocharged engines to lightweight steel and aluminum, to electric power steering and regenerative braking. The Biden administration has an ambitious plan to build 500,000 new charging stations across the United States by 2030, and Nevada is already poised to lead in this industry. The strongest possible clean car standards and the infrastructure that will make cleaner cars accessible to all, and that is why we cannot ignore the community impacted and by not reducing the pollution from our roads. Approximately 25 million people in the United States, including more than 5 million children, suffer from asthma. The limits on vehicle pollution that protect them should never have been rolled back to begin with, particularly when battling a public health crisis that is especially lethal for those with respiratory conditions. Across Nevada, there are almost 50,000 children and over 231,000 adults that suffer from asthma. In Clark County alone, over 37,000 children and almost 169,000 adults suffer from asthma as well. Pollution from cars and light trucks dirty our air, threatens our health, and can lead to increased respiratory disease like asthma. Electric vehicles produce zero tailpipe pollution, and they protect our health and families' budgets. So for all those reasons, I urge the Biden-Harris administration to act now. I want to thank the organizers for today's press conference for doing all that you are doing. And I want to commend you, Yasmin, for your tremendous advocacy on this important issue. Thank you for allowing me to participate.
Thank you, Congressman. I now want to introduce Mercedes McKinley, Moms Clean Air Force Nevada Coordinator.
Sorry about that. Good morning. My name is Mercedes McKinley, and I'm the Nevada State Coordinator for Moms Clean Air Force and its Latino engagement program, EcoMadres. Moms Clean Air Force is a community of over 1.5 million parents and caregivers dedicated to safeguarding our children's health from air pollution, including the urgent crisis of our changing climate. I'm here today to call on the EPA and President Biden's administration to set the strongest possible federal clean vehicle standards for all automobiles and light-duty trucks produced from 2027 and beyond in order to protect public health and create a safer environment. I live in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I'm the mother of a 2-year-old. I also care for my 78-year-old mother. And ever since my family and I arrived from El Salvador in 1987 to Las Vegas, we've lived in immigrant communities that each harbor different health hazards. Our current family home is located near US 95 I-515, which is used by locals and a large number of big rigs that move through the Southwest. Our home air filters have to be replaced monthly instead of every 3 months. Soot and other particles build up, and if we don't wipe it down, we get a black film that forms on the grills of our air vents. This doesn't happen in many other neighborhoods. East Las Vegas and North Las Vegas, Congressman Horsford's district, is home to a large Hispanic Latino community that mostly serves the casino industry. My neighbors drive taxis, cook food, and tend to the casino floors. It's a low-income immigrant community whose infrastructure has been forgotten, and quite frankly, we feel abandoned by environmental regulations. I also want to include here that, as the Congressman mentioned, the high number of cases of asthma that we have right here in Clark County. There's also a statistic that I want to pull up here real quick about Latino children. So Latino children are 5 times more likely to experience asthma than non-Latino children, but African-American children are 10 times more likely to experience asthma and likely to die from it. And my daughter is Afro-Latina. So my family actually represents both of these demographics. And really, I urge the EPA and the Biden administration to act on this critical matter and introduce these health protective pollution standards by early April. And that is to clean up the air that our children breathe as my family and I no longer want to be a statistic, and we want to support Nevada's development of a clean energy economy. Thank you. And now I'm going to pass it on to Ms. Karen Yap, who is the former UNLV student body president.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me. Again, my name is Karen Yap, and I am currently a senior at the University of Nevada, Las Vegas. I study Brookings Public Policy and Economics. A little bit about myself, a little over a year ago, I bought my very, very first car, and I use it everywhere, whether that's driving across the state to where I currently reside in Northern Nevada, across Southern Nevada to get groceries, to go to courses. If I have to travel to another campus, it is all by car. And this situation is not unique to me. I think of my university institution where we have over 31,000 students, and I attend the most diverse university in the nation as well. And when I say most of us are commuter, I mean 95% of us are commuter. Oh, and this is not unique to just Nevada. Most college students own a car and commute to courses or commute back and forth from home to school, whatever it may be. And so that is why I say those things are not unique to me. And so when we talk about air pollution or climate change, it affects those who are teaching education, pursuing education. It affects students, it affects young people, non-traditional students, the list goes on and on. I come from a family of healthcare workers. My entire family, except me, work within the medical field, whether that be my sister who is attending college, my parents, my uncles, aunts, etc. I previously worked as a certified nursing assistant. I'm now a business major, so that tells you how that went. But nonetheless, it shows the disproportion. I've been able to witness myself and witness casework of the disproportionalities between communities of color that have to endure the different environmental protections put on them. And so again, I think of those who primarily work outdoor jobs, those who live in poor infrastructure that may not be able to withstand these natural disasters that are coming at higher rates because of climate change. And ultimately, I think of the young people and the college student. And so that is why I am urging the Biden administration, and as well as echoing all of my colleagues on here, to urge the EPA to enact the strongest clean car standards to protect not only Nevadans and Americans, but all of those who call this country home. So thank you.
Thank you, Karen. Now I want to turn it back to Yasmin Paliz, Nevada Conservation League Digital Media Manager.
Yes, thank you. Thank you for sharing your experience and that of your peers, Karen. And thank you, Mercedes and Congressman Steven Horsford, for joining us today and sharing why the administration and EPA need to urgently address the problem of tailpipe pollution from cars and light-duty trucks that endanger the health of Las Vegas, Reno, and other communities across the state and across the country. As we heard today, electrifying our transportation sector through stronger clean car standards, moving to pollution-free vehicles, as well as investing in clean transportation infrastructure are important for our environment and for public health. And for emphasis, investing in cleaner cars means reducing harmful pollution and ensuring our most vulnerable communities in Nevada have cleaner air. Yes, the Biden administration has taken strong steps to strengthen clean cars and truck standards, but we need to do more. And that's why the Biden administration must move quickly to strengthen its post-2026 fuel economy and carbon pollution standards so that we can limit carbon pollution from the country's leading source, the transportation sector. Doing this is a win-win. Drivers will save money at the pump, and workers will see more jobs and economic growth in manufacturing and supply chain industries. To no surprise, clean vehicles are popular in Nevada. Last year, the Las Vegas Review-Journal reported that the number of electric vehicles registered with the Nevada Department of Motor Vehicles has increased by 133% in the past 2 years. By adopting stronger standards, we can continue to encourage clean vehicles on Nevada's roads. We hope to see that EPA move promptly to the next round of clean car standards and set the strongest possible protections to safeguard families, seniors, and the health of children while saving consumers money. Thank you all for joining us this morning. I will now yield to Kevin, who will open the conference for questions from the press.
Thank you, Yasmin. And thank you to all of our speakers. It's the end of our formal remarks of our event, but we now have a few minutes for questions related to today's event topic. For members of the media, if you have a question, you can use the raise your hand function, which is accessible through your more icon at the bottom of your toolbar, or you can also utilize the chat function, and you can just put in the chat that you have a question, or you could type your question into the chat. I'm also able to unmute your line so that you can ask your question directly. We just ask that you state your name, the media outlet you're with, and if you have a specific speaker you're directing your question to. So again, please feel free to use the raise your hand function, as well as the chat function if you have a question. Again, please feel free to use the raise your hand function, which you can access through the more icon, or use the chat function to indicate you have a question. And yes, we will have a recording available for this event. There'll be a recording on the Moms Clean Air Force Facebook page, and we'll include that in the press release that goes out after the event. Okay, seeing no questions, I'm going to open the floor back up to our speakers to see if they have any additional remarks they would like to share.
I just want to thank Nevada Conservation League and Moms Clean Air Force, as well as Karen from UNLV as a student voice for all of your strong advocacy. This is about public health. It's about environmental justice. It's about the clean energy economy, and it's about creating good paying jobs and keeping communities safe. So congratulations, keep up the good work, and we look forward to action on this important issue. Take care, everybody.
Thank you so much, Congressman Horsford. Okay, once again, I want to thank all of our speakers for their participation. I want to thank the Congressman for his continued leadership on this issue, as well as our advocates whose tireless work to push these issues forward. I should note that a video recording of this event will be available on the Moms Clean Air Force Facebook page, and we'll be sending out that in the press release right after this event finishes up. I do want to pause here. I do see a question did pop up in the chat, so I'm going to read this real quick. It says, thank you, Congressman and other speakers. Can you let us know how the UNLV Transportation Center may assist with related efforts on clean transportation? So I'll read that again. Can you let us know how the UNLV Transportation Center may assist with related clean transportation efforts? And I'll open that up to the floor to see if any of our speakers would like to reply. And just to clarify, that's the UNLV Transportation Research Center. And Sashi, I see you had entered that question. We're happy to follow up with you after the event on that topic. Definitely appreciate the question. Okay, once again, thank you to everyone for participating. Really appreciate that. I'm also going to share Travis Brock's email in the chat function. If there's any questions or requests for follow-up interviews, please follow up with Travis after the event. Thank you again, and have a wonderful day.